A few people have asked me this question, saying, Ollie, which fragrance would I recommend from designer brands? Well, before I do, there's certain things that I look for that completes the catalog of a fragrance brand. They need to have variety and also cover the spectrum of use and purpose. So in this video, I'll be recommending two fragrances from five different designer brands. One that you can wear in the hot weather and one that you can wear in the cold weather. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first house I'll be talking about is Tom Ford, and the fragrance from the fresher offerings from this brand that I'll be recommending is Costa Azura Parfum. It's an aromatic aquatic fragrance. It's woody, fresh with citruses. I can handle some aquatic scents, but I do struggle with some marine fragrances. This one has got notes of driftwood, seaweed, agarwood. It's got lemon, cypress, lavender, mandarin, incense, vetiver, and some other notes. This fragrance smells so good that it reminds me of the holiday by the beach with the sea breeze off the Mediterranean coast. It captures the scenario so well. Tom Ford is known for his classiness and uniqueness, and this fragrance is no different. It's really fresh, aromatic, and woody. It's also very pleasant to the nose and also quite long lasting. Summer days, summer nights, you're covered with this one. There are some fresher offerings from the house that are really nice, like Beau de Jour, Neroli Portofino. Those ones do have, particular scent profiles to them, but anyone can rock this one. And that's Costa Azura Parfum by Tom Ford. My choice for the cold weather has to be Tobacco Vanille. Let's give honor to where it's due. This fragrance is no stranger to many for good reason. This is the pinnacle of tobacco fragrances, and also where tobacco with vanilla in recent times started from. It's got notes of tobacco leaves, spicy notes. It's got vanilla, obviously, cacao, tonka bean, dried fruits. It's also got woody notes. You get the ashy tobacco, which isn't shy but contrasts beautifully with the sweet bourbon, vanilla, and the spices. This is one of those fragrances that reminds me of Christmas. It's sweet, warm, spicy, and woody. However, if you don't like tobacco fragrances, I think you will still like this one because of the sweetness of the vanilla. It's perfectly unisex, it's dense, it's very long lasting, and most importantly, it smells so good. So for the cold weather, this is the one I'm recommending, and that's Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. Another designer brand that I do like most of their fragrances is Carolina Herrera, but the ones I'll be recommending are not the usual suspects. So for the warm weather, the fragrance I'll be talking about from the brand is Orange Affair. This is a fruity floral fragrance that was launched in 2017. The bottle no longer looks like this. It has been changed to this. It's an EDT concentration and they all come in 100 ml size bottles. It's got notes of citron, mandarin, petitgrain, orange blossom, rhubarb, almonds, tonka bean, and musk. I do get the citrus orange from the opening, but I don't really get the rhubarb note, which is a hit or miss for most people. It does get sweeter from the mid to the dry down. It's easy on the nose and forms a nice scent bubble around you. This is one of those fragrances that you can wear pretty much anywhere, anytime, day or night. It's also one of those fragrances that when you wear, you know you smell pleasant and it doesn't bother anyone. It also might not be the most long-lasting fragrance, but it does stay on your skin for a decent amount of time. A great fresh offering from the brand. If you don't want to smell like the usuals like Bad Boy or 212s, don't get me wrong, they are nice fragrances, but they just smell generic in my humble opinion, of course. So for the warm weather, that's Orange Affair by Carolina Herrera. My choice for the cold weather from the house is called Bronze Tonka. I could have easily chosen Mystery Tobacco or Nightfall Patchouli, but this one has some complexity, but yet it's still pleasant. It's an amber spicy fragrance that was launched in 2018. It's got notes of agarwood, coffee, cypriol, tonka bean, saffron, and sandalwood. This one is part of the confidential collection. I have a video on the channel talking about my top 5 from the line. The thumbnail looks like that. You can go catch it if you will. Back to bronze tonka. If you do like the note of tonka bean, then you're in for a treat. This fragrance is boozy, it's sweet, it's warm. The fragrance smells divine, guys. It's also quite strong, but the good thing is it's not overwhelming. I do detect the coffee. I also get the smoothness and the creaminess from the sandalwood. It's also got this nice contrast between the sweetness of the tonka and the dryness of the woods. This concoction will cut through the cold, guys, leaving you smelling great. So that's Bronze Tonka by Carolina Herrera. Another designer brand I'll be talking about is Chanel. The brand has a few fresher offerings from the house, but the one I'll be recommending is Bleu de Chanel, the Parfum version. There's the EDT, there's the EDP, but the one that I think is the most refined is this one. It was released in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. It's no stranger to the fragrance community. It's got lemon zest, bergamot, mint, artemisia, lavender, pineapple, geranium, green notes, sandalwood, cedar, amberwood, isoe super, and tonka bean. This fragrance ticks many boxes for a masculine fragrance. It's very versatile, it's fresh, it's aromatic, citrusy with some woods. It does become slightly sweet from the tonka bean, and the sandalwood gives it this depth with some amberwood. Many complain about the performance of this fragrance, but what you should be aware of is most perfume versions do not project off your skin. I do get about 8 hours longevity with moderate projection. You really can't deny the classiness of this fragrance. That's why it's really popular. So out of the three concentrations, this is the one I'm recommending. So for the warm weather, that is Bleu de Chanel by the House of Chanel. For the cold weather, I'm recommending Le Lion from the Le Exclusive collection from the brand. It's an amber fragrance that was launched in 2020. It's got notes of bergamot, lemon, labdanum, amber, Madagascar vanilla, patchouli, musk, and sandalwood. It's so smoothly blended, and you can tell that this is a high quality fragrance. The feeling it does evoke for me is out of this world. This fragrance will remind you of Shalimar, to be honest, at first. But then you get greeted with this labdanum note, which is heavy in this fragrance. Labdanum can come across as animalic, but it's infused with other notes like vanilla, which makes it not go overboard. This is a great walk of art, guys, that will cut through the cold. It's smooth, it's sweet, it's slightly animalic with a woody and musky base. It's also quite long lasting. I love the way this fragrance makes me feel anytime I wear it, hence I'm recommending it to you guys. Such a gorgeous creation. So for the cold weather from the House of Chanel, that's Le Lion. Another designer fragrance brand I'll be recommending is YSL. And for the fresher offerings, no, it's not Y or myself. This one is called Jazz. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should, I describe this fragrance as a man in a bottle. The fragrance first came out in 1988, if I'm not mistaken, in a different bottle that looks like this, but was relaunched in 2011. It's got notes of coriander, geranium, artemisia, cypress, tarragon, and patchouli. It's an aromatic, woody, spicy fragrance. It's in the same genre as Pasha de Cartier, the EDT. It's a fougere style, gentlemanly fragrance that is also signature scent worthy. It's spicy from the coriander, slightly green that comes from the cypress, if I'm not mistaken, and it's also woody from the patchouli. It's a classy scent that doesn't smell dated by any means. It's hard to find, but it does pop up on sites like All Beauty, which is where I got mine from. It doesn't smell outdated, but rather very pleasant. Get your hands on this gem, guys, and you will thank me later. So, from the brand of YSL, my recommendation for the warmer months, this is called Jazz. For the colder months, my recommendation from the house is Baby Cat. I could have easily chosen Tuxedo, but that one is quite versatile that you can wear in all seasons. But this one, I think it's appropriate for autumn and winter. It's a spicy vanillic fragrance with notes of black pepper. It's got elemi, pink pepper, olibanum, saffron, bourbon vanilla, suede, and cedar. This fragrance has got a nice contrast between spiciness and sweetness. The vanilla in this one is quite dry, unlike some vanilla fragrances that is super sweet, fluffy, but this one is really well balanced with the spices, which gives it a nice kick. It does settle down to an ambery base while maintaining its spicy sweetness. It latches on your skin for a really long time. Anyone can rock this one. It's perfectly unisex. When you put your nose on this fragrance, then you will understand the hype behind it. So for the cold weather, that's Baby Cat by YSL. And the last but not the least is Dior. The fragrance I'll be recommending for the warmer months is Eau Sauvage EDT. What else can I say rather than it's a citrus aromatic fragrance with notes of lemon, bergamot, basil, rosemary, fruity notes, jasmine, coriander, patchouli, iris, sandalwood, lavender, oak moss, vetiver, musk, and amber. It's fresh, it's aromatic, it's slightly spicy and earthy. Old school fougere style fragrance made modern. This is another gentlemanly scent that works well in the heat. It's also got this smoothness to it. It's a timeless scent. It's clean, not overbearing. It's simple yet classy. Something you could wear in the daytime or nighttime in the summer. So that's Eau Sauvage by Dior. And for the colder months, the one I'll be recommending from the house is Dior Homme Parfum. This is no stranger to the fragrance community. It's the lipsticky iris with leather. To me, and I'm sure some people will agree, that this is the best designer fragrance on the market, period. Yes, I said what I said. It's got notes of iris, orange, leather, rose, sandalwood, ambrette, agarwood, and cedar. It's rich, it's dense, yet smooth, but not a shy fragrance. And at the same time, I will only wear this in the cold weather. This fragrance is super sexy. There are quite a lot of iris-based fragrance in the designer space, but nothing comes close to this one. It's very elegant, it's woody, it's strong, it's just a gorgeous fragrance. Some people do prefer Dior Homme Intense, but I prefer this one because of the leather and the woodiness. Yes, it's quite hard to find fragrance, but once you do put your nose on this one, trust me, you will not regret it. So for the cold weather from the house of Dior, it's Dior Homme Parfum. That's it. 10 recommendations from 5 designer brands. If you'd like to see my niche recommendation, please drop it down in the comments. Also, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified for future posts, updates, and videos. And that's pretty much it, really. As always, keep smelling great, and I'll see you in the next one.